So I've been exploring the concept of home with intermediate, or not intermediate, Pangaea. Pangaea, I have been doing work with intermediate, but like Pangaea, World Theater. And so I wanted to share this story that's on the St. Paul Almanac. Patricia Kirkpatrick is here. They've published a lot of my tiny poems and tiny stories. Thank you. But with like in the exploration of home, I did want to share. I don't sing, but a song that my mom shared with me about gentrification, and then I'll do a little translation of it and then share this story with you. It goes like this. Nawala ilatun, ilatun o ilatun, o ilata bantabi, o markuta hoigatag. Nawala ilatun, ilatun o ilatun, o ilata bantabi, o markuta hoigatag. Translation. Hey, sister, help me grind this grain. Grind it and grind it some more. Help me separate it from a chaff. Wait with me while it cooks, but leave me when it's done, because I know how to eat by myself. Till the bottom of the pot is gone. Translations are tricky. This story is about how we name the places that we occupy. It's called the Titanic Tower, a building that's in St. Paul that's called the Skyline, but Somalis call it the Titanic Tower. Dakhso. My mom is screaming, standing at the door of her Minneapolis home. Hoyo, I whine. You can't rush tea, you know that, Hoyo. It's going to be a long day and I need tea to keep me going. Every Sunday I'm dipped into Somali stories and rituals. My mom and her lady relatives gather. I'm finally old enough to hang out with them, sit on their chat, maybe even say a few words. My Sunday roles are well defined. I'm the driver and a tea maker. And if any of the extended relatives need help with translations and filling out paperwork, I'm good for that too. Our final Sunday destination is Mama Warson's apartment on the 9th floor of a place we call the Titanic Tower, but which really is the Skyline. In St. Paul, tall and visible from I-94 and Lexington, the Titanic is truly a village in the sky. Many East Africans, predominantly Ethiopians and Somalis, reside there. I have relatives living on many of the floors, taking care of each other, raising their children together. My mom would love to live there, but she's terrified of elevators, escalators too. Mama Warsan is an elderly aunt who is a prominent businesswoman in Somalia. She doesn't like anyone making tea for her besides me. She says I have a sweet tea-making hand, and if I could, I would personally live in a cup of a sweet Somali tea. And even though Mama Warsan is 80 years old, she has this girlish laugh and is very young in her spirit and very generous and brings everyone together. She says I bring out the young girl in her, and I think that she's the most elegant person I've ever met. As usual, the Titanic's telecom is broken, so someone has to come down and let us in. The elevator is also slow. While we wait, I get a call from her. She tells me to go and buy some tea ingredients from the halal store across the street and to pick up a lady named Fatima and her 3 daughters who've just arrived in the country. In this store, I gather cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and Lipton tea bags. I also grab some halwa and sambus. Normally, I ask the cashier to write it on the bill of Mama Warsan's page. This is how we barter credit. Somebody credit. But today, I have a little cash and feel very generous myself, so I pay. Today is also a potluck feast to welcome these people that I've just met. We will be at Mama Warsan's apartment, furnished with imported cushions, Turkish carpets, until the late evening. Unsi incense mingle with the scent of spicy tea lingering throughout the apartment and the whole 9th floor. The women will be buying and selling imported garments and exchanging gifts and gossip. They celebrate, sing, dance, recite poetry, talk, chant their worries away. I keep the tea boiling. I bring it to them. I'm the server. and at the door of Mama Warson's will remain open for the rest of the day. Some time ago, a rumor spread that the skyline had reached its expiration date and will collapse soon. The rumor got people so frightened that they showed up at the resident meeting, which none of them have ever attended before. The building's community room was filled to capacity, and the overflow of people lined up in the hallway. My aunts had invited me to come and translate, so I was there as rants and concerns reached all the corners of the room. An American woman who works there stood and greeted the residents. We're all surprised by this attendance. Normally we have an agenda, but this evening we want to listen to your concerns and answer your questions. An elderly Somali woman stood up and cleared her throat and loudly began speaking. Me, live in this building 10 years. Come St. Paul, live here now, me, friends, family, all scared. She looked around and scanned and circled the room. She gestured, collapse. We're all here because this building is about to go down, like the Titanic go down. The tall building go down soon. We're afraid of sleeping like the Titanic, we die, finish. Sorry, English broken, but me have to speak for self because me scared. Understand? Everyone applauded in agreement with her. It turned out that because the elevators have been getting slower and slower, people's fears turned into stories and rumors of collapse. At this meeting, residents were assured that the building was not going down. And since that day, among Somalis, the building has been called the Titanic Tower. And every Sunday, this tower, this Titanic, is the village that keeps me connected to Somalia.